So it's time for another variable rate update. Hey, we are on the last working day before Christmas. What does the variable rate and what do rates in general look like? Well, here's what I can tell you. I can tell you that we have a few pieces of data coming out recently. So first of all, we know that inflation remained relatively static and sticky, which really the prediction was that was going to go down further, and that would further cement the idea of rate hikes coming earlier. Now, the reason that inflation ended up holding to be a little static was due to retail sales being better than expected. Now, I think that is more of a little bit of a reality that you do have some folks that have been conservative on spending during the year, not necessarily not having money, but willing to spend a little bit more on Christmas. And I think it's just a disconnect, actually, where people think, okay, well, when people aren't spending money, it means they have no money. But actually, what you'll see Canadian behavior when it comes to money is often not that they don't have money, but they'll be more risk adverse when it comes to when the economy is looking a lot weaker. So when you see a decrease in net worth, when you see your house values look like they're worth more or less, you see like interest rates going up, payments going higher, it doesn't mean that people are not changing and adjusting their lifestyle. But we've had plenty of clients where their first priority is to invest over other expenses and discretionary income. So I think where the disconnect on that is that a lot of folks don't realize that, people, they're predicting less retail sales, not realizing some people were still going to spend what they always spend on Christmas, and that's reflected in that November data. I still think at this point we see the bond yields continue to move down, indicating fixed rates moving lower, indicating that that still we go into the year with the idea that we have a March and April situation where prime goes down. Still, the prediction remains to be 2 full points drop during next year, and that is going to be inevitable. And so this is an important thing, because inevitable is a very key portion of what we're talking about right now, because it just goes to show that the Bank of Canada may wish not to do it. They may not want to have those things happen, but there's no question that we see the majority of Canadians not moving the economy forward as a result of interest rates. And goes back to what I just said. It doesn't actually matter if people feel liquid or if they have a lot of savings, but if people are not taking their cash off the sidelines and into the economy, spending on things, then this is a big deal. The same applies. Interest rates has a big effect on businesses. The same applies to that. I mean, where people get messed up is they don't realize that what happens is you have low interest rates that businesses choose to expand because they feel like the cost is, so low to do so. And it's not that they don't have the money in the bank to do so, but they just expand not as quickly. So all these things are coming to a head. Every economist predicting a March, April time for rates to drop. A little bit of a caveat being that the market is still teetering. Even though the market's been very poor in most places this year, with the exception of Alberta, that, you do have a situation where we do have a significant housing crisis that is not, we should do just a whole video on that is not being fixed. And the number one issue of the housing crisis is immigration. And so over the last 90 days, 400,000 people immigrated to Canada. And so we're not against immigration. It's just when we're immigrating people into our country and we don't even have sufficient housing for that, is that really fair? And is that really, helping anybody out? And so the other part of it is that we still have, this issue where we don't have enough houses for how many people are in. Now, people often ask us, how are people getting to the market? Even when rates drop a little bit, affordability is still a challenge. We are really seeing 3 types of borrowers, and this may be a little disheartening, but this is 3 types of borrowers outside of Alberta that are able to buy. We see a huge rise in double income, no kids families. So people making 120 each. And so double incomes is often how people do it. It's just a change in how the family kind of works out. And how people, have kids later, all that type of thing. Doesn't mean you have to do that. I didn't do that. I don't necessarily even think that's something that I would do if I was given the choice today. But that's how a lot of people get in houses. Their income is double income. 2, immigrants, when they move to the country, they will combine a lot of people together in a house. So mother, father, 2 brothers. So you're looking at modest incomes, $40,000 a year, but there's 6 of them combined to the house. So this is a huge key going into next year, that immigrants, even though are making less than most people make in Canada, and the average family income, they're combining several families together. And the third thing that further fuels the market is a significant wealth transfer still happening from baby boomers. So parents selling their homes in GTA or GVA, getting $500,000-$600,000 to give to kids. These are all things, and I realize for lots of folks, they are not things that give you a lot of comfort, because these are the ways that people are outpacing you when it comes to the market. So my suggestion is, if these things have made housing difficult for you to afford, really think about the idea of buying somewhere you want to invest in, like a Calgary or somewhere in Alberta, or even Saskatchewan. There's some good markets there. And just rent where you want to be. That's a way to get into the housing market, without feeling like you have to overstretch yourself on things. So anyway, it's our last variable update for you. If you have any questions, please reach out. Please let us know if we can help them anything. And if you have any people that can be helped by this video, please send this video to them. We'd love to give them a hand as well.